So you may have seen these astrology videos where they claim to be able to tell you what your life path is going to be, what kind of situations and things are going to happen to you based on your astrology, based on, your stars, the way the position the stars were when you were born. There is actually a big danger with astrology, which I don't think many people know about. And I think it's something which is really important, especially if you're kind of new to astrology and you might be thinking, it's an easy way of getting quick answers or guidance or really just anything which will help you push you in a certain direction, help kind of give you some sign that you might be on the right path. And I get that, people like to have answers and like to be given kind of help and assistance. And they like to know they're on the right path. However, there is one big danger, kind of a hidden danger really, with astrology, specifically with these astrology readings or with these analysis of birth charts and things like that. You may have seen videos like this. There's one big danger. So stick around till the end and I will tell you that danger. Something that I think not that many people understand about astrology is there's really more of a blueprint. It's not necessarily exactly what's going to happen. It's more just like, if you think of it like software, it's the default settings of the software that we incarnate and that we're born with, which will play out unless you change it. So unless you physically decide to change something through various different techniques, then we can talk about that in another video. But unless you specifically decide to change something, the astrological signs and kind of symptoms and signals are the default state which will happen unless you change something. The mistake people make, and it's very dangerous, is that they assume that if they watch an astrology reading, it's exactly what's going to happen and it has to happen exactly that way and it can't happen any other way. The danger with that, and the reason that's actually a problem, is because it stops you from taking action and actually doing things in your life that would move your life in a certain direction. It takes the control away from you and puts it into this victim mindset. And I've spoken about this before. It puts you more into a victim mindset where you're not able to control and decide what you do with your life, and you give it up to this savior complex, or whether it's a religious figure, a different type of figure, some kind of thing, person, or event that you think will happen in the future that will kind of save you. And then as a result, you don't need to do anything. You don't need to put any work in. And I think I made a video about this titled something like Passive Spirituality or something like that. And so the danger with astrology is the same thing. It's the same danger that is there for tarot cards, for, trust the plan and all of the other stuff that people were into at one point, but now it's starting to fall apart. Because the truth is we are in control and we have more control and guidance over the life path that we take than people would like to admit. And so what happens with astrology, with tarot cards, with many religions even, is they assign control and power to something outside of themselves. They say, well, it's going to happen exactly like this because it's written down in the book, or it's, been predicted by the cards. The runes have spoken, or, the bones have told us it's going to be in a certain way. Going all the way back through history, there are these different ways of outsourcing your power and thinking to something else. And astrology is no different. That being said, there are certain things that are very accurately predicted by astrology. And it can definitely be an interesting thing to use as like a data point or a guideline. But I think the biggest danger is that people will take it as absolute fact. And that will cause them to give away their power and not make decisions and create the life they want, because they're just blindly believing that because they're just blindly believing that the astrological predictions will play out exactly how a video said they would. And they give away their power and they don't actually choose what to do. That's the biggest danger.